Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's another YouTube video from your boy MeLlamoCeeGee. And today we're taking Puti reviews to the next level. Okay, you guys know I've been doing Puti reviews for the video games, the indie games, because you know I am indie games. I've been indie games. I live, breathe, and smell their farts all day. All right. But today I got inspired to step it up a little bit. Okay. The Batman came out. Let's do a Puti review on the Batman movie. Robert Pattinson is what they've been calling him. And we got a special guest with us, LuNievesJr. You know,
Oh yeah.
you guys used to know him as Landmine,
Oh, brought it back.
the owner, founder of Keep Gaming. You know what I'm saying? And he's in the
Hey,
building. I had to bring
we in
him.
here.
We've been in discussions of talking about this movie. We were both excited for this movie, especially him being a
Facts.
a, a Batman fan.
Word.
So it only made sense to bring him on for this review. Now,
Absolutely.
we want to start off this review with no spoilers to start off. We're going to
Nah.
give our thoughts on the movie in general real quick. No spoilers, but then when it's time for spoilers, I will let you guys know. So Lou, give us your no spoiler review real quick on what you thought about the
Oof.
movie.
Well, I just left the theater, right? We're recording this Saturday night. I just left the theater. It's fresh in my mind. I called Miyamo as soon as I got out. And without giving spoilers, because it's not much of a spoiler you can give here, but I left the theater feeling two things. Tired because it was long, and unfulfilled because a lot of elements in the movie didn't execute well like I thought it should have. Uh, Beyond that, Matt Reeves, the director, did an amazing job building the world of Gotham like we've never seen before.
Yep.
This is the darkest Batman you've ever seen, and the counterparts, the players within the story, they all serve their purpose except for a couple of people. But if you haven't seen the movie yet, I don't really recommend running out to see it right now. It will be on HBO Max in a couple of days. I will wait for that. Um, but non-spoiler, just wait. This is not, at least for me, this is not what we expected.
Mm. So for me personally, I've said it on my stream. I've said it in my post. This movie is not for everybody. Um,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Now I think if you're a huge Batman fan to an extent, it depends what you're a fan of Batman for. You are absolutely gonna love this movie. You might think it's a perfect movie, and that's your opinion. That's perfectly fine. Me, Lou knows this. I'm not a huge fan of Batman. I'm not a Batman fan at all. I think he's a very boring character. This movie dragged a lot. Uh, the first hour and a half was a snooze fest to me.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
get why they did what they did in that first hour and a half. They kind of had to build the tension between the Batman and the Riddler and all that good stuff, but it was very lackluster, very boring. I know it was like, oh, there wasn't supposed to be many fights. I don't even it wasn't even about the fights for me. It was
Mhm.
just more so the execution of the pacing of the movie that
Yeah.
that bothered me in the beginning. And then the end bothered me as well with the pacing. It felt like the movie was supposed to end about like four different times and it just never
Mhm.
ended. It just kept going.
Yeah.
So this is I'm just gonna say this. I want to petition to bring back hour and a half, 2 hour movies. Get it done in that amount of time, or make it a series, make it a TV show, please. So we don't have to deal with going to the movie theaters. I'm gonna piss my pants. I'm gonna feel like I missed something if I left to go use the bathroom. Please make the movie shorter again. All right. Other than that, uh, I was a huge fan of what Matt Reeves did. Like you said with Gotham, I think
Yeah.
painting the bigger picture of what Gotham is, we've never seen it in this way. Um,
Absolutely.
and yes, it was dark, but the tone of the movie, that was just for the tone of the movie. As far as the visuals were stunning. They had a bunch of scenes where the lights were it was beautiful looking.
Yeah, cinematography
Um,
was amazing.
the score was beautiful, but I told Lou about this. They did what Zack Snyder did with Wonder Woman in the Justice League
Oh,
movie,
they played it
where
out.
anytime his character showed up, they just they played it out. it was a lot. It was like different variations, but the same thing.
Yeah.
But the score was a beautiful score. Like I said, visuals were great, and the overall like characters they had in it, majority of them were actually well put into the movie, but it was just really long for absolutely no reason. So no spoiler warning. It's a good movie. It's not the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life, but yeah, that's it. That's where it's at. Now, spoiler warning. We're gonna get into some
Mm.
details here,
Yeah.
specific scenes, maybe,
Mhm.
uh, as to what we liked, what we didn't like. So, you know what? Let's keep it. Let's go with the negative first. Let's share the negative. I want to
Oh,
end it with the good. You know what I mean? So let's
okay.
start with the negative. What did you think as far as the execution in this movie was so bad to you?
Oh.
And then we're gonna go back to what's good after we both get off our little, negative take.
All right, so this is a spoiler now. So if you don't want to listen to this, please step away. Right off the bat, I didn't like the Riddler's character. It felt non-existent. It didn't feel like a threat at all. And we are going to compare this to other Batman movies because those Batman movies exist. So when I know that they're different as far as the world building and the feel that they're going for it. So some people say, "Oh, you can't compare it." Yes, I can because it's all Batman. Now the issue I have is the Riddler didn't feel it. I was telling Chris, if you take away the Batman suit, this is just a psychological like thriller. It's not it, having Batman there made it a Batman movie, but you didn't need Batman to make this movie. And you get to see the Riddler towards the end, and I believe the actor's name is Paul Dano, and he's great. I've seen it in other films. The guy can act. Everyone in this movie does a great job acting. They're great actors. The cast was very well put together. Um, but when they get to the scene towards the end where he's at Arkham and Batman and Riddler are facing each other for the first time, it felt it felt cringy. Like it was too much of Paul Dano's Edward, whatever they call him, because it was Enigma, Edward's Riddler character. It just felt like forced. And I'm like, nah, you're better than that. And then Robert Pattinson, he's getting angry. It felt weird. And then, speaking about Batman, Robert Pattinson's Batman, his Batman voice to distinguish himself from being Bruce Wayne, which the character Bruce Wayne was in the movie for 3 scenes, whatever. And then he just whispered. It wasn't like even a deep voice to distinguish himself. It was just, I was telling Chris, it was like they're looking at a bat in the cage. He's like, it's a bat. And I wanted,
It's not a
I
rat.
want,
It's
yeah,
a
I wanted, I
And then he
wanted
pulls out the
Gordon.
letter.
Yeah, I wanted Gordon. He's not Commissioner Gordon yet. I wanted Gordon to be like, "What'd you say?"
Yeah.
Because he was whispering. He's like, "It's not a rat. It's a
And
bat."
the answer to the riddle is that your ass stinks.
So I thought that was like whatever. And I didn't like, and I get there's different variations of the Batman Catwoman triangle story, like the way they're friends, they're lovers, it's a mystery
Right.
relationship. This one, it was like they were best friends, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, I get it, this is year 2 Batman, so a lot of this stuff is still being established, but even her as Catwoman, Selena Kyle, I felt just wasn't it. Like they gave her a little bit of a backstory, but I look at Anne Hathaway's Catwoman, and I thought that was 10 times better because, as we know in the comic books too, even in the video games, Catwoman tends to play Batman a lot of the times. It did not happen here, and I just felt like those things could have been done better, especially with the 3-hour time frame. You had enough time to execute these things, and they didn't. Uh, Alfred Pennyworth, that we never heard that before. He was in the movie for maybe less than Bruce Wayne's character was. He was probably in like 2 scenes, and that was it. And I'm like it was just you had enough time to build these things up, and you didn't do enough. That was my issue, and it dragged, like Chris said. I legit napped 3 times. I'm not even lying. Like, I legit went to sleep. I thought I was snoring next to the I thought I probably bothered the person next to me. And it dragged. The pacing was it was weird. Also, I was telling Chris too, there were moments because he was doing voiceovers. It felt weird. It fucking sounded like Max Payne. If you ever
Yeah.
play the video game Max Payne, it was like day 1.
Yeah.
I was in Gotham. It was raining. I'm like, what? Who's talking? Who's telling the story? Who's narrating the story?
parents in the alleyway. Now I'm out because I am vengeance. You know?
Oh my God. And everyone kept saying that. Hey, vengeance. Hey, vengeance. He's vengeance. I'm vengeance. We're vengeance. What? I never heard so much vengeance talk in my life. It just felt weird. It was a lot of cringiness. And I understand as far as the costume, this is very different. You're not going to get the question mark spandex suit of the Riddler with the cane. You're not getting that here. It's very weird. I understand it. I dig it. Again, this movie's not for everybody. It's very dark. And they went for that. And it just felt weird. Like, they never had an interaction. I want to see Batman hit him with the elbow a little bit, let them fight. They didn't even fight. Like, Batman fought his people that looked like him and didn't even fight him. Go ahead, Chris. I'm getting a headache.
From the beginning, again, spoilers ahead. Like, it started off, I like the way they introduced the Riddler. They introduced him really well.
I thought that was cool.
They made him seem like such a menace, right? So they had him stalking his prey pretty much. And then, like, the horror factor in the beginning, like the first 10 minutes started off great. I was like, oh, is this the vibe? They're going for like a horror film.
Yeah, I liked it.
I'm with that. Like, that shit looked crazy. Like, when he showed up in the room, like after the lights went out real quick, I was like, oh, that's crazy. So they started off with the Riddler's introduction well. And then he disappeared for the rest of the movie. He seemed more like a cyber bully than an actual villain. You know, everything he was doing. Like, I get
he was sending out mean tweets.
Right. It was a little more modern. He pretty much had an OnlyFans, and like he had like he had subscribers and people that followed him religiously. You had to pay extra for certain videos. It was literally OnlyFans. Like, he would do live streams on that, and it was just it was weird. You know how you introduce him as a menace, where he literally manhandles dude and kills him in his like living room, to then now he's doing he was still technically involved, but you know, like the scene, that scene I think pissed me off the most. The
which one?
The funeral scene where the car comes in and the guy has the bomb strapped to his neck, and it bothered me because I thought the dialogue was cool, right? But you're basically FaceTiming Batman. And
the phone was ringing mad long. No phone rings that long, bro.
They're FaceTiming Batman. They're having a little conversation. This, that, whatever. The guy was too scared to give it up. So, like, the tension was cool. But what really pissed me off was this. As Batman, you know this guy got a bomb strapped to his neck. Why are you still standing there if you know the shit is about to blow up? Like, you saw there was like 5 seconds left. And he's just standing in front of the guy like, yo, give me the answer, man. Why? And it just didn't make, like, I get it, you're a young Batman. I get it, you're a young Batman. You want to figure out certain things. But no matter what year Batman you're in, I don't think any Batman
common sense will tell you,
would stand in front of a bomb that has 10 seconds left on it. Okay. What else? So, like I said, the pacing was really bad because after that first 10 minutes, it just dragged forever. They kept, like, pretty much it was like a Scooby-Doo movie. Like, they're just giving clues here and there, clues here and there. And then the best part was, right, they're showing the whole Batman detective stuff, which was awesome. It was awesome. But the amount of shit that he got wrong is what was getting to me. Like, almost every clue he would get so close, and then he'd be like one thing off. Oh, it's a bird that doesn't fly, or it's a rat with wings. It's a penguin. Oh no, but it's a falcon. So it was like stuff like that, like little things that he would miss that was really bothering me. Even though I love this scene with the penguin where, you know, he made fun of them for not realizing the thing in Spanish is la instead of L.
Yeah.
It was a funny scene. Penguin was awesome. But
We're
it's
not
like,
talking about the positives yet. We're gonna give
right.
Penguin his praise.
But like, come on, man. Come on, man. And in the ending, I talked to Lou about it. It felt like the movie was supposed to end 4 times. There was literally about 3 to 4 different scenes where you're like, oh, if the movie ends here, that's beautiful. And then it didn't end. Then it kept going for another 10 minutes. And at the end of that 10 minutes, there was another scene that you were like, wow, if it ends here, awesome. Nope.
Yeah.
There's another 10 more fucking minutes after that. You know what I'm saying? They just dragged the ending on and on with different scenes. They even added a scene that I felt didn't even bring anything to the movie per se.
What scene was that?
That was the Joker scene.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
get
yeah.
why they did it.
Really,
also,
but why did they do it? I would like to hear this.
Because like we said,
World
earlier,
building?
world building. That's all it is. That's all Matt Reeves was trying to do. He was trying to world build. It felt like more of an end credit scene of a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
it felt more like an end credit scene, and then there was still a, you know what's crazy? It felt like an end credit scene, and then there was still a scene after that.
So that was the mid-credit scene.
Pretty much, right? So it was like, you know, you gave us that, and then you gave us the whole, oh, you know, you're already taken. Bye, Batman. And then they fucking
We're
pulled
going
the
separate ways.
They pulled the Fast and Furious fucking Dominic Toretto and whoa! You know what I'm saying?
Until I see you again.
Until I see you again. Whoa! So
yo, that scene where he's looking in the viewing mirror for mad long, like, bro, we get it. She's gone.
Nah, but I get it. He's a better man. He's a better man than me because the way she looks, I would have left Gotham. Like, yo, I'm out of here.
You're like, yo, fuck this Batman shit. Where you going, shorty? Wait.
Let me eat your butt.
Fucking mask.
Let me eat your butt real quick, shorty. You looking good, right? So,
oh man,
those are my negative takeaways.
She was walking hard too in her scenes. Like she was switching.
You had to.
It was fly.
So those are my bad takeaways. Now let's go to the good. I'll let you go first. Get your good stuff out the way. The people want to hear the positive. You know, I don't want people to think that Lou hates everything. You know what I'm saying? I know that's gonna be a narrative. You know what I'm saying? I know that's gonna be a narrative. I'm part of the reason that's a narrative as well because I like having my fun trolling my boy. Yeah. But let you know, there is some good. There is some good. So I'm letting him get
there is good. And I mentioned this on my tweet. You can follow me at LuNievesJr. And so basically the world building, like we mentioned, was great. Matt Reeves did a great job with the cinematography. It was a very dark film, but you were still able to see the characters, and it felt like a Batman movie straight out of a comic book, so to speak. So it was very dark, and I love that. We've never seen that before. So shout out to Matt Reeves for that. As far as the characters are concerned, I thought Gordon was great. I thought the Penguin was amazing, bro. Colin Farrell did an amazing job. Those what is it called, prosthetics? They made him look great, unrecognizable.
Like I see the interviews with him. I see the interviews with him afterwards, and I'm like, how? How did they pull that off? My fault. Keep going.
Yeah, no. And the thing is, like, so of course Robert Pattinson and Colin Farrell, they're not from the United States. They have accents. They're from other places, the UK and shit. And yo, his mafioso kind of like talk was fire. Oh man. And just the interactions he had with Batman was hilarious. There was a lot of humor in the movie, and it was like dark humor. It was really good, really well put together. I thought the relationship that Batman had with Gordon was better than the way he had it with Catwoman.
Yeah.
Gordon was great. I thought that was well created. Falcone was cool. It was just like, it just felt like another bad guy, so it wasn't anything like that was great. But I like this Falcone more than the Dark Knight Falcone in Batman Begins. Right? That's what's called? Batman Begins.
Yeah.
So that was great. I thought the score was good. I thought the gadgets were cool. One thing that we left out as far as the negative things, and I don't know if it's so much of a negative, but all the great scenes were all in the trailer. We forgot to mention that. All the great, amazing scenes that we seen in the trailer that made us go, oh my God, I gotta see this movie. They were all in the trailer, man. So like any hype moments are like, oh, I already know what's gonna happen. I saw this.
Like
Okay, oh,
they had the scene, the hallway scene where he was getting shot and just showed up and started knocking the guys out.
yeah,
The
that was
car
fire.
chase.
The car chase, those scenes, let's not give those
They're
scenes were
still
still
good. They're
fire.
beautiful. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they were amazing. Even when they're in Gotham Garden, that it was in Madison Square Garden, but it was
Gotham Square Garden.
Gotham Square Garden, yeah. Those scenes when he's fighting on the Raptors, it is incredible. Like he's like sliding, kicking, punching, doing his martial art thing is fire.
Yeah.
But he's still young, right? So he keeps getting shot at. Like, yo, he must have
Yo,
the
he
most
got
powerful
shot in the
bulletproof
chest.
vest. Yo, this guy got shot at so many times. It's not even funny, bro. So, but then he used some like juicer. He fucking came back. He was like, ah. I'm like, all right, Batman, let's go. He became Venom. Like he became Bane real quick with the Venom.
Right. A lot of people thought it was the Bane Venom stuff. I'm pretty sure it was just adrenaline.
Yeah, it was just adrenaline.
I don't think they would introduce Bane stuff. Right.
Green veins, yeah. So he got, yo. But what's crazy, I forgot to mention this too. Catwoman pulls him up. There's no way Catwoman can pull him up. Are you kidding me?
He's Diesel, yo.
His upper body weighs more than her entire body. There's no way she's picking him up as he's hanging for dear life. Get the fuck out of here. But yo, in the scenes that he was fighting people, especially that scene when he got the adrenaline, he was just knocking. Like I felt the pain that the enemy was feeling. I was like, ooh, I like that. Give me more of that. Because you saw it in the beginning too, which was again in the trailer. You're like, who are you?
Yeah, he broke the guy's arm off rip. And he just smoked his joint. I was like, oh, okay.
I'm vengeance. And I'm like, yeah, we saw this part. Nothing crazy here. But there were cool things. It was just they could have done so much more. Like there's so much potential here, man.
Yeah.
And even like the idea of introducing the Joker, and somebody in my theater is like, oh, that's Two-Face. Where do you get Two-Face from? Like, do you not know Batman? Like, they didn't even mention Harvey Dent yet. I do like, and this is, I'm going to end it here. I do like that they got into the past of Thomas Wayne, Bruce Wayne's father, and all the corruption. I've been waiting for that storyline. And this is great, man. And I hope they build on it. This movie's going to get a part 2. It's going to get a sequel because it's going to do so well in the theaters. People are hungry for a new Batman film. We thought we was going to get one with Ben Affleck. It didn't work out. That's why we got this one. So
very true. So now for me, to start off with the scene that he was talking about that, you know, it was in the trailer, but I like the way they fleshed it out. It was like the intro to Batman, but it wasn't an origin. Right, so it was
and the fear in people sometimes.
That's what it was. That's what like the fleshed out version of that scene. Even though we saw the whole fighting and whatnot, the fleshed out version that led to this scene was awesome to me because it took the factors of what I liked about Ben Affleck's Batman, where the people were scared of him. People were scared of the dark. Like they showed the decision of one guy where they saw the bat signal and they were like, oh man, he might be close.
Yeah,
I'm not even gonna go in that alleyway to get away. Yeah, he'd rather get hit by a car than to go down that dark alleyway. I'd rather deal with a car than Batman. And I love that. That factor was dope to me. I'm like, oh, people are scared of this version of Batman, right?
Yeah, I like that.
The side characters, Gordon, amazing. Penguin, those are my number 2.
Yeah,
like 1 and 2 right there. Those 2 stood out so much to me. And then I honestly enjoyed the humor in this movie. I was telling Lou earlier, there was a lot of stuff that it wasn't like cliche funny, but it was like the amount of seriousness that Batman as a character was to what was going on around him was hilarious. Like they had a couple times he showed up to the same club 3 times.
Oh, I forgot about that.
As 3 different people pretty much, and every time was like, you know who I am? And it's the same people answering the door. And each time he sees them, they're beat up in different ways. Like they look way different. First time clean, second time beat up, third time even worse. Like they were almost crippled at that point, you know? But like the humor was dope, especially with the Penguin. The chase scene was awesome. Again, but another one that, it was in the trailer, but what led up to it was awesome. Like when they just introduced the Batmobile, because before that whole scene happened, he was riding around on a regular motorcycle with a regular helmet, not even in the back costume, no nothing.
Yeah.
He was just, oh, whatever, motorcycle. But when he pulled out the Batmobile,
Oh, I
and
forgot about that too. Yeah.
it was like its own character. That was awesome to me. I love that.
Yeah.
Because the minute
And if you were in a good theater with sound, you
oh, I was
felt
in
the car
IMAX,
rev.
bro. That joint said,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you felt the whole theater shaking. The
Yeah.
lights turned on, and everybody just stopped and was like, "What? Awesome, beautiful."
Yeah.
I also liked how they try to connect, um, the Riddler and Batman. They try to make it seem like they were this
Mhm.
one and the same.
Yeah.
But I think they, even though they failed in bringing more Riddler into the story,
Mhm.
because I do, like I said, I felt like he left and he was just a cyber bully. I would have liked more interactions between them to make that
Yeah.
connection a little bit more.
I
You know what
wanted
I
something
mean?
physical, man.
Right.
I
To make
did.
that connection a little bit more, that they were the same, but in different, they dealt with stuff differently. Because when they met, the scene started off pretty dope until they took it too far. Like he started ODing, and at that
Mhm.
point it became cringe. Where he was
Yeah.
explaining
Yeah.
like, "Oh, we're partners. You know, I told you
Yeah.
to bring him to the light, and you did it. And that was cool to me." And then he started like,
Yeah.
"Oh no, I had it all. We were supposed to." It was okay, cool. But I get it. He's a
Yeah.
maniac. They went for a more psychotic version of the Riddler than what we're accustomed to. So I get what they were going for. I understand all these things. Don't try to say that I don't understand. I got it. I just didn't like it that much. Okay.
Mhm.
But overall, like I said, that what I really liked, it felt more like a Batman film. I think you said that as well. It
Yeah.
felt like Batman. Like Robert Pattinson felt like Batman.
Mhm.
But it's year 2, so he literally is just only Batman. There really wasn't, even when he
He
was
made a
Bruce.
lot of mistakes too
Yeah, even when he
as
was Bruce
Batman.
Wayne, he was Batman. Like it wasn't Bruce Wayne. That
Yeah,
was just
it was
Batman.
on 24/7. The
He
Batman.
was just working. Yeah, the whole time,
Yeah.
even when he was dressed as a civilian, it was
Yeah.
for Batman stuff. So
Yeah.
I get it. I can't wait to see what they build with it. I think this was a solid beginning to not only
Mhm.
just the Batman, but Gotham as a whole, as what I see Matt Reeves is
I
doing.
can't wait. Yeah,
You
because
know,
Batman has great villains.
especially
So,
with the Penguin. I like that they're giving him his own series.
ooh,
After
yeah,
his performance in this movie,
I can't wait.
give me the show. Give me the
Yeah,
show. Give me a mafia boss type show with
I
the
love it.
after the events of this movie. Oh,
Yeah,
I would love it. I can't wait for that. I'm
he's gonna
excited.
run Gotham
I
now.
love it. I cannot
Yeah,
wait for that.
yeah, I love it.
I do think they should give us more of Catwoman. I think people liked her a lot. I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
you weren't too impressed with
I
her,
wanted more.
but right, like I feel like they didn't give her a lot of chances to show
Yeah.
off the Catwoman S stuff. They just gave us a
Yeah,
couple
it
scenes
felt like
with
Mission
her.
Impossible. Like, put in the ear, put in the eye. Let's see where you go next.
Right.
She wasn't the cat burglar. She wasn't
Mhm.
stealing, and she wasn't doing acrobatic shit.
Yep.
I want more from her, and I think that she can pull it off. Just give her the opportunity.
Right. Like the couple scenes that she was in where she was doing like the whole stealing stuff
Yeah,
kind of got taken away from her because Batman showed up and then everything went to shit. So it was like they didn't even give her a chance to show off her skill, even though she kept saying, "Yo, I can handle myself."
mm-hmm.
We didn't see her handling herself. Every time it all went to gunfights, and
He was
it,
like,
it
I
just
don't think you want to do that.
yeah,
She's like,
yeah.
Jesus.
Like their fight scene was mad funny because she tried to juke him like he was in the NFL. She hit him with the little hezzy. I was like,
He kept scaring her. She was like,
right.
Jesus.
And even the banter between him and Gordon was dope.
Yeah,
I know
that
I
was
mentioned
good.
it to you on the phone where
Yeah,
where
I thought they did great together.
he pulls out the gun and he goes, "No guns." And he goes, "That's your stuff, man, not mine." Like stuff like that to me was awesome because it's like, okay,
Yeah.
yes, that's exactly how a regular person would react.
It
Like,
feels
bro.
human, right?
Right,
Like,
right.
yeah.
So, but overall, what was your grade of the movie? We gotta give it's Puti Fritos. Remember that it's Puti
Yeah,
Fritos.
yeah.
So instead of
So-
5 chat, we're gonna do 10 out of 10. Okay,
Okay, all right. That's what I was gonna ask because I know
make
you
it
do
easier.
5.
Make it easier for us.
All right, because if if it was out of 5, it'd be really bad. At
Yeah,
least
yeah.
out of 10, it's a little okay. So out of 10, I give it a 6 out of 10. Solid 6. I thought it was
6
good,
out of 10
but it could have been a
Puti
lot better.
6 out of 10 Puti Fritos from
Puti
LuNievesJr.
Fritos. 6 out of 10 Puti Fritos on the record.
And
You
as for
gotta
me,
roll the R's.
I'm giving it a 7 out of 10 Puti Fritos. Good movie, good start. It was an origin that wasn't an origin.
Yeah.
And if you're a Batman fan that likes the detective stuff, go ahead and watch it. If you're not a Batman
Don't
fan,
bring your kids.
yeah, do not bring your kids. They
I
will
saw
fall
kids in the
asleep.
theater. They were sleeping, bro.
Yeah, they would either fall asleep or they're gonna drive you nuts asking a bunch of questions because they're not gonna have any idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wish this was rated R too, man. I wanted to see a lot of blood,
that would have been
but
crazy.
it wasn't.
Right.
I would have loved to see that because there was a lot of scenes, like even when the Riddler was like fucking the guy up in the first scene.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I want to see the blood splat. Like give me that.
Mm-hmm.
But you know we're not gonna get that.
Bash his head in. But yeah, that's it
So
for
let
us,
me
chat.
ask you this.
Oh,
before you
Yeah,
finish.
yeah.
I asked you a couple days ago because you saw it. You saw it yesterday, actually. Where do you rank this Batman amongst the others? Now we have a new addition to the new Batmans.
So the Dark Knight to me is gonna be number 1.
Okay.
I'd have to put this one either second or third.
I will say third because although it's a different time, the Tim Burton Batmans I felt were more entertaining than this. Although this is different, it's very dark.
Right, it's very different.
Those were more comic book, flashy, very colorful. But the Dark Knight, then the Tim Burtons with the first original 2 Batmans, not the George Clooney and Val Kilmer. Those shits are ass. They don't belong anywhere. And then you can introduce, Ben Affleck and the Justice League. But
yeah.
now, is he your favorite Batman out of all the Batmen?
As of the Batman portrayals, yeah, because I think he actually did a lot of the Batman stuff I liked, and the fighting wasn't as choppy as outside of, I think Ben Affleck still has the best Batman fight scene of all time. But his fighting in this was very well, and like his use of the gadgets was really dope. Even though they over exaggerated the battering off the chest thing was so stupid. Like, yeah, you could have showed that. They could have showed that in a different way that worked better.
They slow motion.
But like him using his gadgets, him having like the compartment to stab himself with the adrenaline was pretty dope.
Yeah,
like,
he had the thing on the leg too.
Right,
like,
he had all cool. That. I think
yeah.
Showing off his gadgets, his fighting skill, the fact that he was able to get shot up as many times as he got shot up without
he had
dying.
Whatever,
what?
Yo, that
bro, he got hit with a shotgun pump to the chest and just went flying.
The bomb was so close.
Yeah, so he got a Black Panther suit or something, but
yeah. I would say, I would say I like this idea of Batman, and I'm not saying Robert Pattinson did a bad job. I just wish that it was more. And I know it's year 2, so that's why I'm gonna give it a little leeway. But I'm gonna stick with my man Christian Bale, and then I'll put Robert Pattinson second, only because.
But I think it's
more established because it's 3 films,
right?
so it's more involved.
He has more. I think he has more potential. Like his start as Batman is probably the best that we've seen as far as like first movie Batman.
Okay,
like,
I could
like
dig
Batman
that.
Begins, you barely got any Batman at all.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like for
Even
him,
though I love Scarecrow more than I love the Riddler here.
I agree. So like,
this is probably my worst villain out of all of them. Even more than Mr. Freeze. I'm being real. Because Arnold was fucking hilarious and amazing. Those one-liners, bro.
The side villain stole the show. The side villain stole the show on this one, Loki.
Yeah. All right, so end your thing, man. Thank you for having me. How you gonna end it?
That's it for us, chat. Chat. Look at this. I can't even speak right. That's it for us, YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I will put all of our links as far as social medias and his YouTube channel, all that good stuff in the description below. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share the video. And you know the vibes, baby. Hey, yeah.
We out of here.